Hi everyone, good morning and good evening. So this is Firoz Muhammad here from D365 Global Community. So first of all, I would like to welcome everyone to D365 Global Community's another Expert Connect session. So we conduct Expert Connect session on every second Wednesday of the month. So with the intention of the sharing the knowledge on D365. Okay. So for the benefit of everyone who joined for the very first time on this event, I'd like to give you an introduction on what is D365 Global Community, or we call it as DGC. So we formed DGC with the intention of just collaborate, share, and as well as share knowledge on the Dynamics 5 domain. We know that with the introduction of Dynamics 5 in November 2016, Microsoft has come with a lot of interesting features and technologies under the umbrella of Dynamics 5, right? So earlier we had Dynamics AX and Dynamics CRM. Then we have a couple of technologies related to that, like 5 ERP application and 1 CRM. Now everything is coming under Dynamics 5, but slowly that is where we are moving into. And there is a lot of technologies around that, like the Power BI, the Power Platform, and then CDS, etc. is coming around that one, right? So I mean, so we form this community as a free community with the intention of collaborating as well as sharing knowledge, including the customers who are using Dynamics 5 as well as the enthusiasts who want to learn more about Dynamics 5 and related technologies. So we have been conducting this session, expert connect sessions, for last 2 months, if I am not wrong. So we had one section on 3rd of April, and today we have a session from Prabhu, and the next session will be on 1st of May. Okay, so we have a section every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. When it's come to the activities of DGC, we are planning to do a lot of activities apart from this just webinars. So here we are inviting all the professionals who like to share their knowledge and who like to be part of this community, to share their knowledge. So Prabhu is just one of the expert who is working with us, who is part of the DGC core group, and then I mean he volunteered to just share his knowledge on a very interesting technology today that is about Microsoft Forms Pro. So with the help of that, we can just have a CDS-based survey solution for Dynamics 5. So as part of the webinar, he'll be talking about what is Microsoft Forms Pro, how we can integrate that with Dynamics 5, and how also CDS for apps can be integrated with the same Forms Pro, and then we can set up a survey with that. So we hope that it will be a very interesting as well as knowledgeable session. And I need everyone's in cooperation to conduct this webinar in a proper way. So I request everyone to just mute the line. Okay. So whenever you have anything to ask, you can just ask for permission and ask a question. And also whenever there is a question that you want to ask, you can just type that in. We will definitely take all the questions at the end. So Prabhu will be giving the session first. And towards the end of it, we will definitely give a good amount of time, 5 to 10 minutes, just to take only for the questions. So it will be great if you don't interrupt the session in between by asking questions. If you feel like you forgot the question, then you can just type it in the chat. So definitely Prabhu will take it up, I mean, by the end of the session. Okay. So hope it will be an enjoyable session tonight for everyone. So Prabhu, is over to you now.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Feroz, for the introduction. So let me share my screen.
Sure.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Right. So thanks everyone for taking time off for joining this session. And good evening and good morning to everyone. So as Feroz mentioned, that we're going to look at some of the new feature which got rolled out pretty recently, right? Microsoft Forms Pro. So is this something new capability? Of course, it's not. So a few years back, I think 2018, Microsoft has rolled out Microsoft Forms. There's one of the services under 365, and then what is this Forms Pro, right? So this Forms Pro, it's more of an enterprise level survey capability, right? And the current current Microsoft form, what we have, it's purely for O365 and other services, right? It cannot be integrated with Dynamic 365 or any other O365 suite, right? And there are a lot of new capability has been introduced in Forms Pro. We can take a deep dive and we can look at those functionalities. And this is the agenda for today's session. We're going to look at the overview and the solutions, then followed by how this survey can be integrated with 365 customer engagement and CDS common data service. Then some of the features, and then we're gonna look at what is the difference between Forms Pro and Voice of Customer. Is Forms Pro gonna replace the Voice of Customer, right? So we're gonna look at those, and finally I can take up the questions. Right. By the name itself, we can easily figure out what is this, right? So it's an enterprise survey capability. Helps business to share the survey with customers and analyze the feedback on their services and products, right? It could be of any industries, right? Survey is one of the core thing where we keep improving the customer surveys or the products or customer, what exactly they're looking at, right? So it's a kind of tool which connects both the business as well as the customers, and a very simple and lightweight tool helps your organization to transform their customer, product, and employee experiences. Not only for the customer, even within the organization, they can leverage this survey capability and send out the survey for the employee, right? So you might have seen on and off we get an employee survey within an organization, right? So this can be absolutely can be used for such kind of use cases. So this Microsoft Forms Pro, it's built, or it's one of the services of O365, and can also be integrated with other services in O365 like Dynamic 365 platforms. And and the another thing is it's very responsive. The surveys, it can be accessed from any devices, right? Any channels. Right. And what are the solutions we have, right, within this Forms Pro, right? We can categorize into 4 buckets, right? The very first thing is we're going to look at and see how we're going to design the survey and how we can collaborate the survey, right? So once you have a survey, then you can collaborate with your team for the feedback, right? They can also review or they can also make changes on those survey. Then the next thing is how to distribute the survey, right? There are multiple options, the capability it provides, right? You could use the inbuilt email capability, or you can embed the survey, or using Microsoft Flow, you can automate and send the survey link to the customers. And it also supports the QR code, right? And also we can embed this survey in Canvas app as well as the model-driven app. And also it comes with AI-powered insights using Power BI tools. And also it integrates with Dynamic 365 and CDS for apps. So basically, the backend of the Microsoft Forms Pro is basically CDS, right? All survey questions and answers are stored in CDS. So it's a great move by Microsoft, because all your business data and your survey data resides in the same database, right? It will be easy for them to collaborate and combine the response along with the products or other business data. There's some of the snapshots on the right-hand side. So the high-level process, right? What could be the high-level process? So the interface is very simple, very intuitive. So very first step is you're going to set up the survey, right? And within the survey, a lot of other options, like you can change the theme, you can put your company branding, right, and you have a formatting. And it also supports different types of control, right? I can show you those controls. Then you can also have a branching rules, right? A condition-based or logical-based questions. And it supports the preview. It gives a wonderful preview, laptop as well as the mobile preview. Then the next step is collaborate. So once you define your survey, right, you can share the survey with your peer for the feedback, right, before rolling out to the customers, right. And the third step is distribute. As I mentioned earlier, you can distribute the survey in many ways, right. One is through email, another one is through a flow. You can automate sending the email. Then this survey can be embedded on your company portal or any other site, right? And the anonymous link, using the link, you can take up the survey and also the QR code. Then once the survey is out to the customers, once you get the response, so there are some inbuilt insights are available. Using that, you can see the breakdowns of the survey responses, and there's some AI used to identify the positive, negative, and other sentiments of the customers. Right. So how this survey can be, the Forms Pro can be integrated with Dynamics 365, right? So if you look at on the right-hand side, so there is a solution called Microsoft Forms Pro, right? So this solution can be installed using your instance picker, right? So any instance, you can go and install the solution. Once you install, you see a bunch of entities, right? So these are the entities where the survey questions and response are tracked, right? Same thing applies for the CDS as well. And so it's basically deeply integrated with CDS as well as 365. Then all the survey questionnaires or response, everything tracked within the environment itself. And you can easily send out the survey by using your views or contact views, right? If you have a specific views, a list of contacts you want to include or you want to add them as a participant, it's very easy. You can just add them as a. I'll show you how to do that. Then, as I mentioned earlier, like not only the technical folks, even the business users can go and spin a quick survey and share it with the customers, right? And the UI is very intuitive. And as I mentioned earlier, so there is a solution called Microsoft Forms Pro. So this solution is to be installed on your environment. It could be on D365 or on the CDS, right? In order to use this capability, right? And so how the O365 and D365 are integrated through application user account. So the integration is taking place between O365 and Dynamics 365 for storing and retrieving the survey information. As soon as you install the survey, you'll see two more roles added to CRM: the service admin and the survey owner. Right? Service admin, as the super admin, has all the permission, and survey owner, you can drill down if you want to control the permission of the survey. You can do it. And also the flow supports a lot of events. Some of the snapshot I've given here. So if whenever you get a response, you want to track an email or create an email or generate a case, you can still do it, right? So there are a lot of events available in the Microsoft Flow. And features. So it's very easy to quickly set up and configure a survey, and easily collaborated with any peers in an organization. And it provides an option where you can preview your survey. It could be on your mobile device or on the laptop or desktop. And surveys can be embedded anywhere, right? It could be on your company portal or on any other website, right? Even within CRM also you can embed the survey, right? On the form or on the dashboards. And trigger surveys using Flow. As I mentioned earlier, using Flow, there's a lot of events, predefined events are available. Using that, you can perform certain action whenever you get a response from the customer. and easily integrated with 365 and other Power Platforms. The inbuilt AI identify the sentiments automatically based on the survey, based on the response received from the customer. Then also, since it can be easily integrated, so you can leverage the tools available on D365 and Common Data Service platform. So these are some of the features. And so the difference, or there's a view which gives a comparison between the Pro and Voice of Customer, right? So if you look at Pro, so Pro, it's you can integrate with D365 and Common Data Service, and Voice of Customer Service, it's tightly integration with Dynamic 365, which is hosted within Dynamic 365, right? And it provides a lot of options to distribute the survey, unlike the Voice of Customer. And it's more of a native solution from O365. This resides within CRM, right? We cannot extend outside the CRM, the Voice of Customer. All right. So I will take you to the survey. We can just take a look at it, how it is. Right. So this Forms Pro, it's in preview state, right? It got launched, I think, a few weeks back. So as soon as you log in, so this is the survey landing page where you can create a survey or you can create a quiz, right? So let's use one of the survey what we have here, right? And so you have options over here. You can apply themes for the survey, right? You can change different themes for the survey. That's one thing. Then the preview options, right? You can preview your survey using the computer or the mobile device. So it's pretty responsive. Then the controls what we have, right? So it supports different types of controls, right? So let me show you free form, or it could be a rating and a date control. Then right, then ranking 1 to 10 or 10 to 1 scale, right? Then the Likert, that's kind of metrics. Then we also have another control, a Net Promote Score, right? So this is about scaling from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1, right? So you can easily set up the questions, right? So very straightforward. You can there is no limitation like number of questions. You can put as many questions. But the core thing of survey is you have to keep it questions very limited, right? Do not go beyond more than 10 questions, right? And any survey, if it goes beyond 5 to 10 minutes, it will be like boring, right? People may not take up the survey, right? And so this is how you create the survey and distribute the surveys. So you have to come to Send Survey tab, right? So there are multiple options. As I mentioned, you can distribute the survey. One is the inbuilt email capability, right? So once your survey is ready, right, you can put the participants, or you can also add a CRM list view, right? Say, for example, above view, contacts, no order in last 6 months, right? So it basically includes all the contacts for that filter view, right? So it automatically sends out the survey invitation to all these contacts, right? So it's very seamless integration with CRM. You can add as many contacts, or it could be participants as well, right? And you can change the layout of this. You can put your invitations. You can modify it. You're just doing a copy paste. Then you can add also personalize the name. You can put the dynamic name of the person, right? And this is one of the way where you can send out the survey. And through Flow is another way where you can using the event, you can trigger a survey to a specific contact or participants. And embed. So you can embed the survey in anything, in any O365 application. It could be a website, or it could be within the Microsoft Teams, right, or within Dynamic 365 products. So you can embed this. This is an open link, so it's an anonymous. Whoever has the link, they can take up the survey. So in the email, when we send out the survey, every link is a unique link, right? So this is the email capability is taking care of that. Then, of course, we have a QR code, so you can scan and pull the survey, and you can complete the survey. So these are the different channels where you can distribute the survey. And if you look at the responses, so let me pull the existing survey where you can see the different responses, how the insight has been used. Right. So it gives a pretty a nice a breakdown, right? So number of invitation has been sent, number of participants the survey has been sent out, how many people have responded, right? And the sentiments will give you the breakdown by looking at the data or the response available in the questions. Then, so these are the inbuilt insights, right? 50% of respondents have expressed a positive sentiment, right? And among people who answered high in over 98%, right? So it has a very wonderful insights and the other AI components integrated, which provides the beautiful insights. Yeah, and so when you create a survey, you can choose which environment, right? So once you install the Microsoft Forms Pro, so you can see the list of instances available over here. Right? You can pick whichever instances you want. It could be start creating the survey. So all the survey questions and response will be stored within CRM. And I will show you the entities what we have seen. So survey questions, survey email templates, invite questions, response, and survey response. So all these entities which we have seen in the presentation. So these entities will be added once you import the questionnaires will be tracked under the survey entity. Right. That's all. I can take up the question now.
What is NPS when you go to survey responses?
So NPS, right? NPS is, let me see what is the term. It's another category. So it's within the inside, but I don't know exactly what that stands for. But it's one of the category, like it gives the breakdown of the survey responses.
Okay.
Hey, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So can I create a personal view, and can I access that personal view inside that sent email
Yes,
option?
yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a post that. So you can send survey. You can either pick the system view, or you can pick the personal view.
Okay.
We can also add direct emails right here.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So you can do both. You can add the individual participants. Also, you can, if you have a view, right, you want to add a more number of contacts to it, right? You can add the view itself. So you can create a view. It could be a personal view or system view. You can add that view to it. So the survey will be sent out to each recipient with a unique survey link.
Prabhu, this is Suresh here. Does it also tracks the failure? Failure means, let's say if we have sent an email to survey email to some 1,000 contacts, and out of 1,000 contacts, let's say a few of them tried tried filling in, but like maybe while sending the response, there was some network failure or something. Is there any tracking for that, or there is like non-response?
Yeah, I don't think we have tracking for that, right? So, but I doubt that since it's more of a scalable solution, right? So I don't think so there'll be a chance of failure. But in case if it happens, I don't think there'll be a logging or a failure, right?
So
I don't think we have one.
So they will be going under not responded
Right,
category.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prabhu, can you show me the response, how it's stored in the Dynamics 365?
So for this particular survey, right? So for that instance, I do not have access, or I have trouble accessing it, right? So I'm not able to show that. But generally, it stores in.
It stores based on the contact, or how is that happening? Because sometimes we are sending to that one specific email address, right?
Right.
So in the CRM side, how that is storing based on that email address or contact or something?
Yeah, it's based on the email address and the contact. So
okay,
I
there's a
don't have the sample data to show, but that's how it is stored in CRM.
I think there is a regarding, right?
Yeah.
Is that the place?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, hi, Prabhu.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, Shashank this side. While sending surveys to my customer, like I would like to specify one specific user in the from field of email entity in email area. So is this possible so that I can specify some specific user in this field? So every time when Microsoft Flow will send surveys to my customer, it will take reference of that user only for from field.
Yes. Right. I think you can change your name. I think whichever email address you want to give, right? Because it's tightly integrated with O365, right? It uses your Exchange account behind the scenes. You can change it from address. You can put to somebody else.
Okay.
Prabhu?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Prabhu, when we are sending the survey request, so at that time, at the client end, also Microsoft Excel is Microsoft Office, or any product is compulsory at their end to be installed?
No, nothing. It's purely accessed through the browser, right? So they don't need anything. All they need is just a browser, right?
But this survey you created in Microsoft Word, correct?
This survey, I think it's created from Microsoft Forms Pro. It's an online service available within O365, okay. Right?
So, but no MS Office is required for
nothing,
this?
Nothing.
Okay. Good session, Prabhu. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll see if there is a way you can change, but I think there is a possible we can change the form from address, right? Instead of taking the default, right? There'll be an option. So let me check that and I'll confirm.
Because my organization wants one specific user, so that while sending surveys from Microsoft Flow to my contacts, like thousand of contacts. So I want to specify a single user.
Single, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll check and get back on that. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So this is still in preview, right? I think it's they are rolling out probably end of this month, right? So it's part of April release, and you can also just set up a quick trial. It's pretty straightforward. All you need is you need a work email address, right? You could use your a professional email address, or you can quickly create one CRM trial instance and use that email address for setting up this. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can change the theme of your questionnaires, and you can have a parallel branching, right? The logical based questions you can add. If they select yes and you want the other question to be right, that also can be possible. You can do it.
Can we apply custom CSS in the survey?
Custom CS, right?
CSS, yeah.
Yeah, so that is not possible actually. So that is possible in voice of customer survey, but in this it's not possible. But they're giving you an option where you can change the background or you can add the image, for example.
Okay.
Say, I'll change the theme. You can go with the existing theme template, or you can add your image. You can upload your image, and you can change the background.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Right. So maybe down the line they might replace the voice of customers easily integrated with both O365 as well as D365 products. And the survey, you can also embed the survey in any of the CRM forms or dashboards, or you can do the same thing in the Power Apps as well.
Okay.
And so at the beginning of the session, right, I was saying about Microsoft Form, right? There's an existing survey, right, which is a free survey as part of your subscription, like enterprise Exchange subscription, which is part of that. The Microsoft Forms Pro, it's more of a pro, right, a professional version of the survey, and the pricing details yet to be disclosed by Microsoft, right? So there are high chances that this will be a paid service.
Okay.
And any other questions? And it's very seamless. You can switch your survey from one environment to another environment. If you want to copy, you can easily copy the survey.
Okay.
Copy to which environment you want to copy the survey over, right? So moving the survey from one environment to another environment is very straightforward.
Okay. Okay.
And we can, if any additional details, we can look at Microsoft.
Who sent survey, like from as administrator, who sent the survey, and how many surveys someone sent.
Yeah, as of now, there is no limitation on number of surveys, right? You can send a survey to a large audience, right? So I don't think there is a limit.
Okay, and like as an administrator, can I see like who all sent the surveys from this by these forms, like by using this form versus, like, suppose if I'm using both voice of customer and then this form Excel forms, so I want to know specifically who sent it from Microsoft Forms using Microsoft Forms or versus voice of CRM, voice of customer. So how can we identify who sent the survey as an administrator? Any administrative controls are there, or who should not be allowed?
Yeah,
it seems like forms.office is like so anyone can go ahead and send the survey, right? So how can we control it through security mechanism?
Yeah. So as soon as you import the solution, right? So it will add two roles. So service admin and survey owner, right? So using this role, we can control the survey owner can be further customized, and you can assign this role. Whoever has this role, they can send out the survey. And also from CRM, each surveys are tracked in CRM, right? You can look at from whom the survey has been sent out. So we can track that.
Yeah, from CRM so it's fine because it will create records in CRM. It makes sense, but I'm more thinking about suppose if I don't want to give CRM licenses to everyone, right? Because just for monitoring, you know how SharePoint integration works, like where you can take everything in SharePoint also, where if you update the data, anyone with SharePoint license also can go and view the data. So do we have similar functionality for forms?
From this insights, right, you can see how many invitations. Through that we can determine who has sent out the survey, right? Is that what you're looking? From whom the survey has came out, right? You can see.
No, that's like server response, like when you send the survey and how many responded to this server, right? But like in SharePoint, what happens is like when you update the document, right? Anyone with SharePoint access can also go and see the documents. No, they don't need the Microsoft CRM access, right? And the license for Microsoft.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Similar thing like it's like this view responses, right? To see this view response, I don't need Microsoft license. I can see, I send this survey and I got this response. But overall, overall this survey is visible to ocean level also, like the survey admin.
Yeah, this is only for the survey admin, right? So whoever has the admin role, right? And the owner, they can basically they need the license to come back and get this view.
Okay. So they don't need the CRM license, right, for that, right?
No, you don't need. So you can check from the Form Pro itself, right? CRM, not all the time you can use CRM for the survey, right? You can still use the out-of-the-box Forms Pro, right, which uses the CDS in the backend. You don't need a license for it. So when you buy Forms Pro, right, it comes with specific licenses. So as far as you have that license, as a maker, right, you can go and view the survey responses or who has sent the survey. If you are just a customer, you don't need any licenses to take up the survey.
Okay. Sure.
And also it tracks the both response as well as the survey which is sent out, right? You can go to the view responses and see how many invitation has been sent and how many has been responded, right? How many are still in progress. They might have partially done with the survey, right? It tracks those things as well. And unsubscribe, so you can add unsubscribe a link to your email body. If they're not interested to take the survey, they can do unsubscribe. So that also will be tracked here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take up one more question, last question.
And the failure, what we see here, it's the failure from when you send out a survey, not the failure which happens on the customer side.
Hello.
What does it mean? If the email ID is not correct, then it's considered as a failure or unsubscribe? How it will consider that?
Yeah. So this failure, right? When the surveys, when you're trying to send out the survey, right? So it could be failed because of your exchange is down or there's some issue, right? It tracks under the failure. But when you're taking the survey and say you're taking the survey in a low signal network, right? And you may not have a proper internet connection, right? So that doesn't reach the server itself, right?
Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I joined later. I did not see the whole presentation, but I have a question. Um, what is the business use of it? I don't understand the business use of it so far. For example, if I'm in CRM, and it would be great to see a business case where this can be really in use. So, for example, um, I launch a product, right? I created a product in CRM, in Dynamics, and then to notify the existing customer saying that, hey, you were interested in this product, and we have launched a improvised or improved product, and you can try it, and something like that. And how can we automate this with with this thing using the flow or something? Is it possible, or was it possible in voice of customer? Because I've not used the voice of customer yet, so I don't know if it was um, you know it can be automated, whether this can be automated to Microsoft Flow or not.
Yes.
And then you get the response, and then you get the Power BI to see what is, how segmented the market is, and then you see how many interested, how many not interested, and have a nice report. So it would be great to see a business case out of it.
Right. Yeah. So business, I think you mentioned one of the business case, right? So let's take the customer service, right? So whenever the ticket is resolved, right, we can, as soon as the ticket is resolved, you can set up a auto survey email for the customer, right? So the customer will be given with a survey, like he has to take a few questions and answer. How was our survey, right? What area we need to still improve, right? How we felt about our surveys, right? So using that, once you get the response, then you can track the response as another follow-up activity or a follow-up task in CRM, right? So that is one of the use case, right?
Right, but they are two different products. Looks like it is a different product, customer satisfaction survey. How can I do that within the CRM, that okay, I resolve the ticket, then launch this survey? Is there any automation?
There is an
They are two different
automation.
products. How they are?
So this survey, right, the Form Pro, it's integrated with Dynamics 365 Power Platform, right? So you can, there's a lot of events available in Microsoft Flow, right? As soon as the event happened in CRM, right, whether the ticket is closed or reopened, right, you can set up a trigger point to send out a survey for a customer or a customer contact person, right? So
because you said it's CDS, so I thought they are using the common data service, not the model itself. So that's why I thought, how can be this picked up, run workflow can be triggered when the ticket is closed, and Microsoft Flow will pick up this one of the survey and send it out to the customer.
All right. So not only on the CDS, it's available on D365 as well. So the moment you create a survey, right, which environment you want to track the survey, right? So the survey questionnaire is going to reside within your environment, right? If it is a CRM, then it will be D365, right? Then using the Microsoft Flow, you can set up a trigger point, whether the survey needs to be done. That's what. So if you look at send survey, using the flow, you can automate your survey distribution based on certain event happening in CRM.
Oh, okay. I did not see the screen. That's why. Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
So, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to purchase Dynamics 365 license in order to use Microsoft Forms Pro, right? So it comes with the CDS. So that's where it has that the licensing involved for the Forms Pro. So current form, Microsoft Forms survey capability, what we have currently as of today. So it's a free services. So once you have any one of the O365 products that comes as a free add-on, right, you can use it. But the responses are tracked in an Excel, right? You can download that as an Excel, but it's not integrated with any of the O365 apps or D365 apps.
Right. So looks like the capability that you are mentioning, that it does not have a CS, and so it is basically a enterprise version of the Microsoft Forms that we use generally. and this one looks like it is only integrated within Dynamics product. It cannot be exposed outside the form. So that's why they're calling it as a Forms Pro or
No,
something.
it's the other way around, right? So the one what we have, it's not the enterprise level, but this is the enterprise capability.
Yeah, this one is enterprise. That's what I'm saying. So the Microsoft Forms that we have that is not integrated within enterprise suite of
Right.
Microsoft.
That's right.
Okay, looks like the code base is same for Forms and
Yeah,
this
basically
one.
it is built on top of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
it looks
don't think
like
so they're gonna duplicate the other service because that service is free, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna keep both.
Right. Yeah. I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions?
All right. I guess there are no other questions.
All right.
Yeah. So it was a quite knowledgeable and interesting session. And before we are ending the session, I'll also like to talk about a few things. So for the people who join late, so we'll be conducting webinars on every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. And as soon as we just we finish the session, we'll be sharing those videos, the recording of the sessions on the YouTube channel of the community. We are just started on the community YouTube channel, and also we have a website where we have a forum as well as a blog section is there. And also we have groups on LinkedIn, Facebook, and everywhere. So just by following these groups, you'll be updated about the events as well as the webinars happening from the community. And also I would like to invite everyone who have expertise on different domains to be part of the DGC and who like to share their knowledge. They're always welcome. You can reach out to us either through email or by any other means. You can write to us, you can contact us. So we'll be happy to be a part of DGC.
Right. Yeah. So just to add to it, so it could be of any topic, right? So you don't have to worry about whether it is most latest topic or it could be, right? Even you can share your experience as well. So what you face on a day-to-day, right? It could be one of the things you learned in your project implementation, or anything can be shared with you. That'll be great.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to extend my thanks to Prabhu for putting effort and coming up with such a wonderful webinar. I'd also like to thank to Sandeep, Soundarya for everyone else who are part of DGC and helping us coordinating these kind of events. So we will catch up everyone on next event, that is on 1st May. Okay, so see you there. Have a good day, good night. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you.